Wow, it's been a minute, huh? Good morning, guys, and welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be talking about those last 4 months of videos that you just finished watching, probably. Although, we could really call it only 3 months because the month of April had a total of 1 video, so we don't need to talk about that. I'm going to be talking about studying abroad in England for a whole semester, and my expectations, and what really happened, and just everything that I can think of that I think people should know about studying abroad. But before we get into that, I guess I should mention, yes, I did dye my hair. It is now blonde. Also, I have my handy dandy notebook as per usual with, oh, by the way, no notes in it. Like, not helpful, but it's okay. So we're going to talk about 6 different things, basically. We'll start with my expectations, and then we'll get into some smaller things, and then we'll get into my overall experience and how I liked it or didn't like it. You'll have to wait till the end to see, but spoiler alert, I liked it. So my expectations of studying abroad were that it would be much like going to college for the first time in a town that I didn't know with people that I didn't know, and that's pretty much what I was doing. Basically, I enrolled in this college in England and went there. But it was a little bit different because it was closer quarters and less people. I tried to keep my expectations out of it, basically. A lot of people think that study abroad will be like the best time of their lives and like so much fun and it's gonna be amazing. And that's all true. And I had those expectations as well, but I tried not to dwell on them because I was worried that if I thought too highly of what was to come, that I would be disappointed, basically. So my expectations were that I would travel every weekend, I'd never get tired, I'd use the week to do homework, and I'd just make the most of the time that I had over there. I also wanted to spend most of my time in the United Kingdom so that I could explore the place I was living more than like other countries. So as you probably noticed, I only went to 3 other countries. I went to Ireland, Spain, and Greece, and those were the 3 countries outside of the United Kingdom that I visited. Everywhere else that I went was within the United Kingdom. Like I said, I tried not to get my expectations too high. I tried not to expect too much from this experience, but I was so excited to go because it's awesome, you know. One thing that I was warned about a lot was culture shock, and I feel like I didn't get culture shock as badly as some other people did, and I don't know why that is. I was more open about the world when I went over there. There were some things that I decided that I didn't like or that I liked better than the United States where I'm originally from, usually always from. So for example, the hot and cold water are separate, and they don't necessarily always come out of the same spigot, and the hot water is like not safe to drink, and I had to remember that, you know, so it was just a little bit different. One thing that I thought was really funny with culture shock, I guess this was the category I would go into, people in Britain are not as friendly with strangers, and I didn't realize that, I guess, because all the British people that I had met previously were awesome and amazing, so I just didn't realize that people would not be as friendly. One time I was in a store in the town that I was staying in, and I liked this woman's jacket. It was like camouflage with like pink fur, and it was like really cool, or at least I thought it was cool. It wouldn't be something I would wear, but anyway, I wanted to compliment her on it, make her day, you know, so I said, I really like your jacket. And she did not respond how I expected her to respond. Actually, she just kind of gave me a side eye and kept walking. And I just it was really funny. So I wasn't sure what to make of that. I didn't get a whole lot of culture shock, I don't think. But they also talk about reverse culture shock when you get home and not being happy, basically, when you get home, like going through the culture shock process again. And I can't say that I went through that either. So I don't really know. Maybe I'm just super adaptable, you know? But maybe not. I don't really know. And maybe I did go through it and I just am not recognizing the symptoms. or whatever. I don't know. But culture shock wasn't that difficult for me personally to deal with, but I know that a lot of people that went abroad with me did struggle with culture shock. I mentioned traveling a lot in my expectations because my expectations of my study abroad were basically traveling. Like, I would travel a lot and like see the world, you know? And I knew that I personally wouldn't see the world because I was focusing on the United Kingdom, which is a very, very, very small part of the world. But I did expect to like travel all the time and not get tired and just have the best trip every weekend, you know? And that just wasn't the case. So I did travel most weekends, and most of the time I went through the school because that's what I chose to do. The school offered several day trips and or weekend trips to go on, and I signed up for nearly all of those that I was interested in, which was nearly all of them. And so those were great because they were already completely planned for me, basically. They only gave me a certain amount of free time that I had to worry about. But then there were some weekends where I decided to travel on my own or not travel at all. And the weekends that I didn't travel at all, I usually felt like I was missing out almost, but I also was just so tired from traveling. And it's like a full course load when you go abroad. Like people forget like study abroad, they forget the study part. I definitely did, but I was so tired that I even took one of the long weekends where they gave us a whole extra day on the weekend, and I just stayed home because I was so tired and exhausted because traveling is exhausting. And if you're a college student, which if you're watching this video, you're probably a college student thinking about studying abroad, you know that college is tiring. So imagine college tiring and traveling tiring all in one. It's just, I was exhausted by the end, like so tired. Traveling has a lot to do with the people that you travel with. So you could go to the coolest city ever and not have a good time because of the people that you're with. You could have differences in what you want to do and what you like to do. You could just rub each other the wrong way and just like not get along when you're out and about having to make decisions like that. And also, there's a lot of things to do in places that you go. For example, Paris has a lot of things to do. And if you don't plan that well with people who want to do the same things with you, you're not going to have a good time. And also, when my friends and I went to Barcelona, it was one of the first independent travel trips we went on, and we went together as a group of, how many? 5, I think? 5 of us. And we didn't realize, I guess, that you have to like plan ahead and decide what you're going to do like before you get there because we didn't, and we didn't really do a whole lot. I personally really enjoyed the trip anyway. Maybe, like I said, I'm really adaptable like that or something. I don't really know. But a lot of my friends didn't have a good time on that trip because it wasn't well planned out or well executed. Speaking of the people, traveling with people is a lot, but also staying in one place with a lot of people is rough. And I don't know what it is about study abroad or what it was about my study abroad, but I felt like most, or like maybe not most, like a lot of the people there like thought they could do whatever they wanted and like not face the consequences. I don't really know. But there was a lot of drama. It was basically like 130 students in one building and it was just a lot of people in a small space, and it was really difficult to like leave during the week. So like during the week you were constantly with people. And I don't know about anyone else, but for me personally, I can do well in like groups for a while, but I need time to like recharge by myself, and it was nearly impossible to be alone unless I stayed home one of the weekends, which is why I did that. I had to recharge alone because I was surrounded by people constantly and it was just exhausting. However, being surrounded by people all the time really does help with homesickness, I think. Now, me personally, I didn't get very homesick because I called my parents more often than I do when I live in Bowling Green while I was abroad, so I talked to them all the time, and I didn't really miss here because I was too busy having a good time over there. But I know that a lot of my friends and a lot of the people there really struggled with homesickness and like were just really sad. Being with people and like making friends and hanging out with them really does help with the homesickness. And also traveling can help with the homesickness. Don't push yourself too far because that will just make it worse. You'll just be exhausted and sad instead of not sad, you know? But traveling, like getting out of your comfort zone, becoming friends with people, and traveling while you're abroad as much as you can really does help with the homesickness. I guess that's kind of all that I had to say about it. This is not like a comprehensive everything you need to know about studying abroad. It's just some stuff that I didn't really hear about or don't remember hearing about before I left. My overall experience of study abroad was fantastic. Now, it was a very drama-filled semester, one of the most drama-filled semesters of my entire college experience. Actually, probably no, I won't say the most. One of the most, definitely though. It was ridiculous. I had 3 roommates in one room, and that was, love them, but that was rough sometimes. And for me, I like to be alone a lot. And so being constantly surrounded by at least 3 people, at least one other person, but like 3 people was just taxing, you know. Traveling was amazing, and even the trips that weren't well executed or well planned, I had a great time on them anyway, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I got to see England and to see Ireland and Spain and Greece, or at least the parts of them that I went to. One thing that made my experience better, I think, than it could have been, I guess, was doing the Meet a Family program, which not every study abroad has, obviously, but basically I was placed with a local family where I didn't stay with them. They weren't like a host family, but I could talk to them about British things. They could take me out on the town and show me things, and I could just basically have people to talk to and have a place to go and get away from the manor and just like being there, you know? And it was great. You know, I loved them so much, and I love them with all my heart, actually. And I'm really excited to one day see them again and to invite them to all my life events, and just, I'm excited that I have them now. One thing that I was a little bit disappointed by, I guess, was how often I had to eat gross food. No shade to Harlexton, love y'all, but the refectory food was limited. Now, it's okay to have that food. I just would prefer to also have other options besides a baked potato as my meal. I don't know, that's just me. Despite that, like, you know, whatever. I had a great time in England for 4 months, and I just thought it was really great. Now, you could have the exact same experience as me, experience the exact same things, and still not have a good time, and that's okay. It's okay to not enjoy your study abroad, and it's okay that you decide that you don't like going abroad and you don't like traveling when you're studying abroad. But I would caution you to, if you don't like the place you're in, try somewhere else next time. You know, I really, really enjoyed England. I've always, my whole life wanted to go to England, wanted to go to the UK, and that's probably why I had a good time. But some people just don't like it, and that's fine. It's okay to not like it. I don't know, I guess that's all I had to say. I don't really have any tips. I showed you what I packed. I'll link that below. I have all my vlogs from when I was abroad. I'll link all of those below too. That's a lot of work for myself in the future. It's okay, I do it for you. So that was my study abroad experience. I had a great time, and I made lots of friends who I think will be around for a long time. And if they're not, that's rude, first of all. But I love them so much, and I'm really excited to travel more in the future, you know? I have severe wanderlust now because there was a time when I could just buy a plane ticket for like 70 pounds and go to Spain, you know? But now I have to pay like $400 to go anywhere. So it's pretty ridiculous, but it's fine, whatever. I'm here now and I'm getting settled back into my life in the US, and it's summer, so yeah, I have a job now and I am writing my thesis and all kinds of fun things are happening. So stay tuned for all of that. And I think that's all that I have for you today. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe so you can join my family. Hit the little bell to get notified whenever I post a video so you won't miss it. And that's it. So have a great morning, and if I don't see you later, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.